Beautiful North Wales, a land of mountains and a land also of water. And this stretch of water holds a very sorry tale. Well, greetings one, greetings all. We are on the banks of Llyn Celyn. Of course, there wasn't always a reservoir here. In 1965, there was a village that lay in a valley. Capel Celyn was a thriving farming community. Of course, it had a chapel. This is Wales after all. It had a school. And it also had a post office. It also had the Afon Tryweryn, which flowed through the village, and the powers that be decided that this would be a perfect area to create a reservoir, but it meant moving out the people of this tiny village. You see, the British Constitution is quite sneaky at times. A private members' bill was introduced, which meant that they could bypass local Welsh laws. Every Welsh MP, apart from a couple who abstained, voted against flooding people's homes. Well, you would, wouldn't you? So how on earth do you persuade an MP to vote against the very people, the little guy that he's meant to be representing, against the big guy? Well, what you do is you tell him that there's a worst case scenario unless this valley is flooded. I suppose in today's parlance you would call it spin. And what those spin doctors said was that Liverpool would undergo drought conditions unless this sacrifice was made. Utter nonsense, of course. I mean, we are an island nation. We are surrounded by water, but it was too late. The people of the valley of Tryweryn, they were gone, and Capel Celyn was to be no more. What a fascinating little plaque, and it's to Hafod Fadog, which was a Quaker homestead. Now, back in the day, back in 1600, some Bala Quakers were threatened with burning, not because of their religious beliefs, but because they refused to pay the tithes to the established church. Ooh, it's all about the money, always. Anyway, Hafod Fadog, it did go also under the waters, and also their burial ground was lost. Great shame. All along this road between Bala and Trouse are little pull-offs where you can come and have a look at the lake itself. Roberts, Jones, Roberts. The thing that rankled was it was one of the last totally Welsh speaking communities in Wales. Well, this door hasn't been opened for a long time, judging by these cobwebs. Well, here we have Capel Celyn Memorial, and memorial grounds also, because some of the headstones from the village itself were retrieved, were saved and put here as a permanent memorial. I know you cannot see behind me, but there is a plaque with all the names of the homesteads and the villagers who were moved from Capel Celyn just prior to it being submerged. Unfortunately, the place has been locked up. It looks as if it may have been subject to some form of vandalism at some point, and possibly it is best to keep it locked unless we have those special occasions when we can remember properly the people of the village. Another quite touching, quite human memento are the huge stones that make up the wall of the cemetery, or at least where the headstones were brought after the flooding of the village. And also the chapel, the memorial chapel itself, was made up of local stones from the village. The villagers did try and retrieve as much as they could to preserve their heritage. The waters are so low that some of the stumps of the old trees are sticking out now. Waters would actually lap up to where I'm stood. Well, I'm not sure there's a more appropriate place to finish this travelogue, and as a memorial to Capel Celyn, this is an impressive building. Would it happen today? Would a whole village be drowned today to provide water on the say-so of politicians? I certainly don't think so. Goodbye from Peter.
In Barcelona, Spain, lost your trail while in Amsterdam. I picked it up on the Isle of Man, took the ferry